Cara Knott was a 20-year-old San Diego State University college honors student. On December 27, 1986, she was visiting her boyfriend, Wayne Bautista, here in Escondido, California. He had the flu and she went to help him. Around 9 p.m. that evening, before leaving her boyfriend's house, Cara called home and told her dad, Sam Knott, she was heading home. Her destination was down here in El Cajon. Right here at this house. After leaving her boyfriend's and before heading home, Cara stopped at the Chevron gas station right here on Villa Rancho Parkway. She filled up her tank, she paid for her gas, then left the station alone. However, she never made it home. After enough time had passed for Cara to be home, her father, Sam, suddenly had a horrible feeling. He got up from his chair and said, "I'm going to find Cara." He later called it a call to my soul. Cara's parents, her older sister Cynthia, Cynthia's husband Bill, and Cara's boyfriend Wayne all went looking for her along the I-15 freeway. They searched between Wayne's house and Cara's house in many areas, mostly along the I-15 freeway. They searched all night, and in the early morning hours of December 28th, about 6:15 a.m., Cynthia and her husband Bill discovered Cara's car in a secluded section of Mercy Road. That location was right here. Her vehicle was right here in the middle of this section where the hand is. Her driver's side window was halfway rolled down, the key was still in the ignition, and her purse was in the car undisturbed. There was no sign of a struggle. So here I am at the location where Cara's Volkswagen was found. It was actually parked right here in the middle of this thing that looks like a cul-de-sac. That means that she had to come down through here and come around and park her Volkswagen pretty much right here where I'm standing, and facing, instead of facing up that way, facing at a slight angle this way. And it was found right here. Being such a secluded place, this meant she trusted whoever lured her into this place. Either her boyfriend, who was the last one to see her, law enforcement, or someone posing as law enforcement. After police arrived, they did a thorough search of the area and found Cara about 70 feet below the east side of an abandoned bridge along the I-15 freeway. That bridge is this bridge right here. Cara's body was found right here in this exact location below the bridge. So she was found down in here somewhere, and I'm noticing there's a tree here. What I do notice is right about the place where I think she was found, right in here, there's a fig tree. This is a fig tree, which means they don't grow natural here. Or they don't just grow naturally here. That means it had to be planted by somebody. So I'm going to make the assumption that this fig tree was planted on the spot where Cara was found. Because of ligature marks around her neck, it was clear Cara had been strangled and then thrown off the bridge. Cara's boyfriend became the prime suspect, but he was quickly cleared. They then believed it was a police officer or someone posing as a police officer that may have done it. 2 days after the murder, KCST reporter Rory Devine went on a ride-along with California Highway Patrol Officer Craig Peyer to talk about self-protection for female drivers. Peyer said this.
Now, once you get into a car with somebody, you're at their mercy. Anything could happen. Being a female, you could be raped, robbed if you're a male, um, all the way to where you could be killed. Once you get in that other person's car, you're at their mercy.
After the segment was broadcast, about 30 women called in to complain that Craig Peyer had pulled them over and made them stop on the same road Cara's car was found, Mercy Road. He then asked them personal questions, requested dates, and stroked their hair and shoulders. He held some of them there for over an hour. Also, all the women looked very similar to Cara. Upon further investigation, Peyer's logbook showed he was miles away at the time Cara was killed, but there were obvious eraser marks in that slot place. Investigators also noticed scratches on his forehead and some trauma to one of his arms. It was as if he had been in a fight. When asked about the scratches, he said he fell against a fence at the police station the same night Cara was killed. However, investigators said the fence was too high for the level of his injuries, and he would have had to take a running leap to hit his face on that fence. When asked to, Peyer willingly turned in the uniform he was wearing the night Cara was killed. There was a gold-edged patch on the shoulder of the uniform that was examined by a criminalist. The gold fibers were very distinguished in their physical makeup. The criminalist remembered seeing something from Cara Knott's clothing that looked just like that. He found a single gold fiber on Cara's sweatshirt that was microscopically consistent with the gold fibers on Craig Peyer's patch. Under high magnification, it was discovered both fibers were made of rayon. Both fibers were colored with a pigment instead of a dye. Pigment coloring was an outdated process at the time. The color and the pigments were compared in both fibers. A solvent was used to separate the pigment from the fiber. The pigment particles were both examined through a spectrophotometer and had light pass through them. The information was placed on a graph, and the light patterns from both fibers were identical. Several other patches were examined, and they all came out with different readings. Purple fibers were also found on Peyer's boots and gun. When tested, these fibers were an exact match to the fibers of Cara's sweatpants. They had what they call a flash contact cross transfer. It was a quick and short contact, but it was a definite contact. Also, in the trunk of Peyer's police cruiser, they found a short piece of yellow rope that matched with the ligature marks on Cara's neck. They also found a tiny drop of blood on Cara Knott's shoe that turned out to be AB negative blood type, the rarest blood type on Earth. Craig Peyer's blood type was AB negative. On January 15, 1987, Craig Peyer was arrested at his home and charged with the murder of Cara Knott. In May of 1987, Peyer was fired from the California Highway Patrol. In February of 1988, Peyer's trial ended with a hung jury. They voted 7-5 in favor of conviction. After his second trial ended, on June 22, 1988, he was found guilty of first-degree murder, and on August 4, 1988, he was sentenced to 25 years to life. In 2004, he was offered the chance to prove his innocence by contributing his DNA to be matched against the drop of blood found on Cara's shoe. He refused to do it. At a parole hearing in 2004, when asked why he would not provide a DNA sample, he refused to answer the question. Therefore, his parole was denied. In 2020, Cara's family was in fear he would be released because of COVID-19 concerns. However, he was not released. Currently, Craig Peyer is serving his sentence at the California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo, California. His next parole hearing will be in January of 2027 when he is 77 years old. Cara's dad, Sam, set up a memorial next to where Cara was found. It's called Crime Victims Memorial Oak Garden. On November 30th, 2000, Sam visited the garden. He was found inside his car. He passed away from a heart attack. It is said Sam never recovered from the day Cara was killed, and it ultimately killed him, and he died right where his little girl died. So this is the memorial that Cara's dad, Sam Knott, put in here for her, in memory of her. And there's a bench here with, says in memory of Sam Knott. Founder, San Diego Crime Victims Oak Garden, from your poker buddies. So I'm gonna leave this right here out of respect for Sam, his family, and his daughter that he lost. Back here at the bridge, it is believed that Peyer parked his police unit right here in this location. They believe after a brief altercation, he struck Cara with his flashlight, knocked her unconscious, grabbed the rope, strangled her. They believe he put her on the hood of his police unit and drove her from where her Volkswagen was up here down to this exact spot on the bridge. Then picked her up from the hood and dropped her right here in this exact spot. Detectives found 2 skid marks on the bridge. They weren't sure if they were stopping skid marks or acceleration skid marks. These skid marks were exactly 53 inches apart, which was the exact width of the tires on Craig Peyer's police unit. These skid marks stopped just beyond a steel plate that was covering a joint on the bridge. So this is where the crime occurred, and what I want to do is I want to drive down there to see how long it takes me to get to the bridge. Now Peyer drove this way, and they assume, or they think, or they're fairly sure that he had Cara's body on the hood of the vehicle. So he couldn't go too fast for fear that she would fall off, but he didn't want to take too long. It's quite a drive. There's the metal strip. He ran over it, past it, approximately right here. Got out of his vehicle. Took her off the hood. Had to carry her over here. Drop her right there where the fig tree is. And then he left skid marks going out. They don't know if those skid marks were from him stopping, coming down, or backing up to get out. So this left me wondering, what did he do to get out? Facing that way, so he probably did the same thing I just did. He backed out, backed into here, and then turned around and went this way. That's the split in the bridge right over here. I'm going to make my way to that location. The brush is pretty thick. In fact, I'm going to have to go around this way, I think. Go down through here. There's the split in the bridge right there. And I'm pretty sure this fig tree is where Cara was found. Trying to make my way around here. It's pretty thick. Yeah, I believe this is the exact location where Cara was found, right here at the base of this fig tree. And out of respect for her, her family, and in memory of her, I'm going to place this rose right where she was found. So there you have it. The Cara Knott murder at the hands of California Highway Patrolman Craig Peyer, right here on the Forrest Haggerty channel.